bold plan as showrunner. Have Gawain be Otto's squire from season 1, then have Otto escape to do the Ormond stuff. So we have a show long villain with a sidekick. Yeah, I mean that definitely would have been something that was a little better than introducing all of these new characters constantly. I do think that there's too many characters and they could have combined a lot of characters. And I agree that had it been Ormond, I mean, I'm sorry, had it been Otto, um, like who do you think is gonna? So okay, there. Not to be too spoilery, but there's a sacrifice. There's a character who has to. There's a green character who has to sacrifice himself at at Tumbleton, and it's a big noble sacrifice for their cause. Um, and in the source material, it's a nobody, and it's like who are they gonna have do that role? They're probably gonna give it to John Roxton, and we don't fucking care about John Roxton. By the way, if for all of you, if you want to know who John Roxton is, he's the one with the weird bowl cut and the beard, who says nothing, who's in every Ormond Hightower scene. But yeah,
he's Brasso from Andor. That's who he is.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's where he is. Okay, yeah. I bet when that sacrifice scene comes, they're going to give it to John Roxton.
But then, how does Ormond go out? Do you think? Because they in episode 1 they foreshadowed Daeron's demise.
Yeah.
That you see him through the tent.
Wait, say that again?
Daeron dies in the book with like supposedly flaming debris falls on top of his tent and crushes him. Mm-hmm. In his season 1 opening, you can see Daeron is introduced when he's inside the tent, and Ormond leaves the tent, and Daeron is in there in the darkness. So I guess you could argue that's a bit of foreshadowing, maybe. Mm-hmm. But if they kill Daeron the same way they do in the books, that'll be so fucking lame. Like,
yeah, I feel like you wanna do something a little more interesting. You think they're gonna give the sacrifice to Ormond?
I don't know. Like, that would also be kind of lame. I don't know. Like, I'm expecting Ormond to go out in a different way. Tumbleton is just a clusterfuck. I went back and looked through it. Holy shit, it's just a goddamn clusterfuck. Before you continue on, Trey has a comment in the stream chat. Can't call in tonight, but I just wanted to say I finally read Windhaven, and I can report that it's very competent, but incredibly mid George R.R. Martin story.
Don't tell Bookborn. That's her favorite story.
Really?
Yeah, Bookborn is it's definitely her favorite. Yeah. But you got to remember that Bookborn very much likes I guess what we commonly call chick lit. Like, you know, she definitely likes the strong female character, overcoming obstacle kind of plot lines. She also enjoys stuff that's a little more hopeful, and Windhaven is the most hopeful thing that George R. Martin has ever written, because he co-wrote it, you know, with Lisa Tuttle. So but yeah, and I mean it's Windhaven, you know, it's like I say, it's competent. It's
Trey says here it doesn't have that George edge.
It doesn't have that George edge. Like, you get a little taste of, like, the ending is very reminiscent of the ending of the, like, the epilogue of Fever Dream, where you, like, fast forward so that you can have all the characters die, and then you can feel sad about the characters dying. But we all die. I mean, so you can do this with any story. Is you could fast forward to when the characters die and then feel sad. I mean, you could do that with I'm just going to pick a random, like, you could do that with the Princess Diaries. You know, you could be like, oh, yay, hooray. And then fast forward to Anne Hathaway dying on her deathbed, and then you'd feel sad. like it doesn't, this is kind of Windhaven. Like, it's like, it's a happy ending, and then they fast forward to see how the characters die, and then you feel sad. But that's a bit George. But it's such a hopeful, you know, such a hopeful movie thing. But there's no, it doesn't have that edge. It doesn't have incest and betrayal and gruesome deaths and cynicism and darkness and horrible irony, and it's none of that. None of that. It's just it's a very, very, nice, hopeful tale. So yeah, Carmine, you think, I'm trying to think, like, I think it's got to be John. I don't know. Ormond seems like too much of a dick and too much of a hypocrite to do the sacrifice, which is why I think they're just going to give it to John Roxton. Unless they're going to
I also
introduce
can't
more.
see Hugh Hammer having well, remember, Hugh Hammer is supposed to have some delusions of grandeur here about his role.
Yeah,
and I can't
think
see this Hugh Hammer being that person.
See, I've almost think that they're gonna do the bait and switch, because they've set up so many reasons why Ulf the White will turn. Everybody's treating Ulf the White like shit, and Hugh Hammer is just normal and seems steadfast, right? And I feel like it's going to be the reverse, that all of a sudden Hugh Hammer is going to be the one that's like leading the switch, and that Ulf the White is going to be reluctant but forced into it by Hugh. Like that's what I feel like is going to happen. Like it'd just be a little too expected if Ulf was the one that was like, I'm done with this shit, and then Hugh the Hammer goes along with it or whatever. But maybe I'm wrong. But they did establish, like in Hugh's first, one of his early scenes with his wife, that he wanted to give her a castle. He wanted to make her a lady, and she's like, I don't want to be a lady. I don't want to be a widow. Like, I don't need that shit. But I think he's still gonna go for it. Like, I need you to be a lady. So he wants that castle. That's my guess. That's my guess on it. That Hugh is going to be the main instigator, and Ulf is going to be the follower, rather than Ulf being the instigator.
I honestly can't tell you. I can't even message it to you privately. I don't know. They only gave us the first 4. Yeah. I don't know what the schedule is going to be for the next few. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day. I'll let you know. But I don't know what they're going to do. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine Hugh. Maybe they'll get manipulated. Maybe Ormond will have like some secret correspondence with them, and
at first, because they made this thing like maybe he's going to try to win. Somebody had mentioned that maybe he's going to try to win them over, and I was like, for a second, I was like, oh, are they going to win over Hugh's wife by doing that justice thing? But then they kill her brother, so apparently not.